Start streaming. All right. Hold on. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're here with episode 5 of the Culture Potion podcast. Culture Potion podcast. Ooh, words are hard today. With me, as always, my co-host Noonie. Noonie, say what's up.
Hey, how's it going? And once again, John, thanks for having me. It's always a
Hey,
pleasure.
hey, man, couldn't do it without you. Also, with me is Neff. Neff, say what's up to everybody.
Hi. How's everybody doing? Good to hear.
Pretty good,
Good to
pretty
hear.
good. It's an exciting time. It's E3 week.
Yes.
It's been a slew of activity already.
Yeah, yeah, some crazy stuff. A lot of stuff I'm excited about. I watched some of the Summer Game Fest today. Of course, the highlight was Elden Ring, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But still, was a couple good things. I know a couple people didn't really like the show, and it did kind of drag. It was kind of slow, but I think because they announced that or they didn't announce it, but people had heard through the grapevine, and kind of like the roar just kept getting bigger and bigger about Elden Ring being there. It kind of like overshadowed everything, and you can just tell, like, I was following along with the stream, and people were like, all right, I'm just here for Elden Ring, that's it. And there were a number of cool, like, indie games. There were some cool other games too that were shown. um Anything that besides Elden Ring that stood out for you guys?
More Dark Alliance gameplay. Love it, love it, love it.
Hmm?
Dark Alliance is based on a book series written by R.A. Salvatore, and I'm they're a really, really good book series. If you're into reading fantasy, I highly recommend it. And they have made a game of it, which there's a short for it too. I should link it and put it in the Discord. And Cumberbatch narrates it, and it's amazing. It goes along with the trailer of the game,
That's awesome.
so I was excited to see them. Looks good. Looks good. All the characters in the books.
I actually thought that game was something about Dungeons and Dragons, like the Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance.
No,
But no, yeah, no, it's totally
it's
something else, right? Yeah.
on your Dungeons and Dragons site though. Like they've taken it over under their name and collaborated with the writer to make the game. So I'm excited about it because we
Mm,
fans of the book series have wanted a movie or a TV series for as long as I can know. Remember, it's so good. Oh,
nice. I guess for me, like you were saying, John, that that it was boring. Like I actually didn't watch the exact stream. Like I picked up a video that just showcased like all the games that was announced.
I think that was the
Um,
way. Actually,
yeah,
Yeah, I think
I'm
that was the
thinking
way to
that since he
go.
said that, I'm like, yeah, I'm
That
thinking
was the
that
way to
like,
go.
yeah, since he said that, like, but there was like you were saying, like there was a lot of pretty decent games that were showed off. A lot of good indie games, but honestly, like, uh, it's a little weird for me. But the game that interested me the most was that Evil Dead game.
Yeah, that game looked pretty cool.
oh yeah.
It
Like,
looks. Go ahead, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say like, and then like I was really shocked about the graphics of it. I'm just like, this ain't real.
Right.
No, but it looked like really good. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I watched it again, and because I'm trying to like, even now I'm a little bit clueless to be honest, but I was trying to understand what kind of game it was. But from my understanding of watching it for the second time, it looked like maybe a 4v1. Like I'm not like I still don't know, the main concept of it.
It seemed kind of like the Friday the 13th game that came out.
That's what I was getting out of it. What were you gonna say before, John?
No, that's actually what I was gonna say. Kind of like worked perfectly. Let's segue right into that. Because that's what it felt like to me. And I haven't really played a lot of the Friday the 13th game. I've heard things about it. I heard it was cool, and I heard it was it's fun to play with friends. It's kind of hard to play by yourself because you got to play online, and communication is key. So it kind of seemed like that, and I'm interested to see where it's gonna go.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I actually played a lot of that Friday the 13th game. It was great in the beginning. Um, and what you were saying, you probably didn't want to play with a player like me online because I was actually putting traps out for the actual other survivors just to troll.
That's
As a
But
hilarious.
D&D player, I've never played Friday the 13th because all the crap I've heard about it.
yeah,
Bad stuff I've heard about it, honestly.
it was good in the beginning, but after
Yeah.
updates, like it just, yeah, it fizzled for at least me, in my opinion. Like it fizzled.
Yeah, that's
But
what
yeah,
it seemed
like
like.
that's
And especially for a game like
yeah.
that, you need like a vibrant community to keep it alive.
Yeah, I don't know how the community is now, but back when I first played, like when it came out, there was a nice bunch of people. I mean, like for sure the game was not perfect. Like it had its flaws, but for the most part, it was really really fun. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. I think there was another game
Let me see if
that
I
was
can.
interesting.
I'm gonna quickly like look and see if I can find what was in there.
Well, for me, they released a Sims pack that's coming out. The Country Life, which is like, I'm a Stardew fan, so now they're gonna bring farming to my Sims. It's like, I think it's the only game I'm ever gonna play ever again.
um,
So what's has there like been any kind of like idea of a Sims 5, by the way? Like, cause I just haven't like really kept up with the Sims lately.
No, but we think that it's down the pipeline. But they're still adding a lot of content right now for Sims 4.
yeah,
Let me
my
see.
daughter's been playing it like crazy. Like she made like a bunch of different families, and there's so much stuff there. It's like so much content in it. Um, all right, so I pulled up the list of stuff that was announced. 2 Point Campus looked pretty cool. Salt and Sanctuary sequel, Salt and Sacrifice, that looked pretty cool. That's a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. That one looked pretty good because
Yeah, that
it
looked
had
pretty
that
cool.
that pretty art style. Yeah, that's
Yeah, that game looks awesome. Um, the one surprise for me was Metal Slug Tactics. That
that was
looks
interesting.
yeah, that looks crazy. I'm a huge Metal Slug fan. Shooters in general usually get my attention, but Metal Slug's pretty old school, pretty difficult. Um, but I really enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it.
Like
Um,
Celeste difficult?
Kind of
You know what I'm
like
saying?
maybe a little bit easier than Contra difficult. Does that make
Okay.
sense? Um, yeah,
Because Contra was pretty hard.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So, Contra can be soul crushing at times. Um,
yeah. The first Dark Souls.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that was good. Vampire Masquerade got a multiplayer game. Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt. I'm not sure what it's about. I'm not sure what's going to happen in it. Um, the one thing I knew about because I kind of read the leak was Tiny Tina's Wonderland, which is a
Yeah,
Borderlands spinoff.
It
yeah,
sounds so
yeah.
funny when you say it like that. It cracks me up.
um, yeah, so that was that was interesting. Um, I'm not sure how to feel about that game. I gotta see it in action. I guess we'll see some of it in action hopefully during during the next week during E3. Um, but I'm just curious to see where they take the Borderlands formula. Because it's supposed to
I
be more
mean,
like a fantasy game.
you can take it anywhere, really. Fans are gonna go jump on board.
That's true. I mean, Tiny Tina is a very,
That's super true.
yeah, she's a very popular character. Well, let's get into it. Elden Ring. How do you guys feel about it? Neff, I don't know if you're not really a big Dark Souls fan, are you?
No, I like to watch it. I'd rather watch creators, people online play.
That's me as well. I'm just not like I have a Dark Souls fatigue going on right now. Like just there's been far too many clones. I just um. But in general, I thought the game looked great. I love the art style. Um, it's probably been the closest thing that kind of reminded me of Bloodborne.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I watched a lot of Bloodborne too. That was some of those fights were crazy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I have a little bit of curiosity with the game, but if I'm being honest, not much.
No, I get it. I get it. I feel like the Souls games kind of like attract a certain audience, and if you aren't a part of that certain audience, then you really just like, I don't really need to see this game. I'm a huge Soulsborne fan. Um, loved Dark Souls, loved Sekiro, loved Bloodborne. Um, and which is funny because I always say, I think I've said this for maybe 3 weeks in a row. Like these ultra hard games, I'm always like, I'm not gonna play that, and then I start playing them, and I get instantly hooked.
Did
Um,
you uh did you ever play Mortal Shell?
I haven't. I've heard great stuff about that game though.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, and like you said, I played like I heard good stuff about it. And I end up playing mostly the beginning. Like once again, the fatigue going on, but from what I played, like I like the mechanic that like you harden. I think you like hardened your skin or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
if I remember right. And like basically in general, like it was just a change to the Dark Souls formula that I could appreciate. You know.
No, I totally agree with that. Like, I feel like it needs something different, and I think that's why like Sekiro was kind of cool to me because it still had those feelings of Dark Souls, and which is funny because I went from playing Dark Souls to playing Sekiro to playing Dark Souls again because I needed to like not play Sekiro because it
You
was
needed
just
more
like,
pain. Pain mechanic.
I guess that's the way to put it. I guess it's they
He
feel
likes to be
different to
tortured.
me. Hey man, I don't know what it is between playing Dark Souls and Rust.
The
Um,
hardest game I ever picked up was Cuphead, by far,
really,
and that wasn't maybe enough
So
to rage.
so
yes.
funny story. Like I picked up Cuphead and knew nothing about it. I've seen it like when it was coming out. Like I had seen it around. I was like, oh, this was like a cool platformer. I had no idea about the difficulty. So I raged so hard on that game. Like I didn't think it was supposed to be that hard. Like I was thinking maybe I
No,
just suck or the game was bad or something. But,
no,
but
art
good
style is
times
amazing.
though. Yeah.
Music had its place.
Man, I love that game. And I knew about the difficulty spikes, and it took me a while to beat that game because I would put it down and come back to it. But yeah, I think I just powered through it at one point. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just gonna finish this game. And the one thing about Cuphead is it's brutal as hell, but it's very pattern based, and
Rewarding.
yes, it's very rewarding also. And I feel like once you learn the pattern, once you get that down, you can like kind of breeze through it. It still gets like punishing at parts. Especially the end. The end is ridiculous. But between like that learning the patterns and just getting picking the right equipment, um for your play style, because I've seen people use different combinations of things that I didn't use. I've seen people use like the boomerang shot. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Pretty
And
like,
the spread shot is good too.
oh, the spread shot's awesome. And then like the specials, like learning when to do like just like a charged EX move, then or using a full special. Um, that's a pretty like worthwhile skill to learn. It makes the game a little bit easier, not like totally like a breeze. 'Cause the game's super challenging, but just learning those little nuances helps make that game a little bit easier. Not like
You
totally
know,
like easy,
you
but
know what, John? I think it's not. I'm starting to see like you like the games where it takes like a lot of skill to progress, like and like once you're punished, like you start to understand like okay, that's you can't do that. I shouldn't be doing that. Like I'm
Once
starting to see
you're
like
punished.
those. Yeah, like those games be punishing those Souls game and then also Cuphead. But that's what I'm starting to see out of you. Like I think you like the skill based games.
yeah, I think you might be right. I really do like the skill based games, but I also like oh man, hold on, y'all keep talking. I gotta find this game because I gotta talk about it. Oh, I found it. It's called Batutu Batu. I think that's the name of it. It's this like puzzle game.
Hmm.
Um, shit, that's not the name of it. Oh well. Anyway, I'll find it. Um, I like games like that, but I also like chill games. Like I play House Flipper, which is crazy. I've been teaching my daughter how to play Fuser, which is awesome. Coming from somebody who was a DJ in a past life,
That's
and teaching a kid about like transitions, and Fuser dumbs it down a lot. But there's still some really great skills that I think DJs use from time to time.
Yeah, it's like it's watered down, but it also still teaches a lot about DJing.
It
And
does.
yeah, so it's pretty great. So yeah, that's actually a good idea. That if you wanted to try to teach somebody how to do it. Um, but no, yeah, Fuser is great. And yeah, I remember you told me about that. We're gonna have to play sometime.
Yeah.
Uh,
I just got back into it because, like, my daughter's been over here, and like, I got, I have an Xbox, I have tons of games, but it's like, all right, so what do I play with a 12-year-old? All right, we can't, we're not, she can't pick up Call of Duty. She's played Fortnite to death. The Sims is cool, but that's kind of, terrible for me to watch. Um, and so I was just like, all right, so what else do I have? And so we played this really cool puzzle game called Rain on Your Parade, where you play as a rain cloud. Um,
yeah, that's cool.
yeah, yeah, and then that was, the story is really funny, and she kind of liked that one. And I started thinking, I was like, well, she's been trying to like get me into her music, which is hilarious. I know this is, we're talking about pop culture and video games here, and I'm talking about like, me bonding with a 12-year-old. But uh, she wants to listen to certain stuff, and I'm just like, "Arr, I don't like edit. I listen to stuff, and she's like, "Arr, I don't like this," and it's just hilarious. But that being said, Fuser was for both of us like, oh, this is cool. And I'm like, oh yeah, you see how to do this, and I teach her a skill, and she's like, oh yeah, I can do this, and then she, like takes it and evolves on it, which is great, and just seeing her growth in that game. But I feel like people talk about like, oh, there needs to be more E-rated games, and there does. But I think
Well,
like
like it takes two. That's a
it
good name for
too.
it.
I need to, yes, I need to
It's
go get
cool.
that. I need to get that.
Really fun.
That's going to be super frustrating to play with her, but I need to get that, and we need to start it because I think that'd be awesome.
Really recommend.
Um, yeah, I think that's a good game. I'm gonna put that on the list. Um, but yeah, like I think music games as a whole are overlooked when it comes to like having something that you can play with a younger kid, a younger relative, and being able to kind of like bond with them over it.
Right. No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
And to add on to like your story, like, I got my 6-year-old son. I'm still trying to figure out a good game to play with him because right now, like he kind of rages on like platformers. Like you would think that to be the way to go, but like the moment he has to jump to one platform to the next and he falls and dies, he's
He's like,
like, no, Dad, I don't want that
"Arr!"
anymore.
Right. Like I have a VR setup in my house. And I let her play that, and that was pretty cool. We played Job Simulator, and like
Oh, okay.
some of the humor kind of went over her head. But she kind of like really enjoyed that. And that was pretty cool. Um, but yeah, like what do you play with like your son besides like Sonic or like Mario and stuff like that?
Uh, Like so he likes a lot of fighting games. So whenever I have some kind of Marvel or uh, it's still Sonic, but he's been playing that Sonic Smackdown a lot. Like when he comes over, that's almost immediately in his mouth to
Right.
play. He's like, "Can I play Sonic Smackdown?" you know. I tried to play it takes two in him. Once again, another platformer that he just couldn't deal with. Uh, But like I said, I'm still looking for a game.
It
Like I
take a
haven't.
little. It takes a little skill, I think. It
Yeah,
takes
he's
some.
super little.
Yeah.
Definitely, and I wasn't like when I heard of the game, and I was like, oh, okay, this is this two-player game. You guys team up or whatever. I didn't think it would be as uh I don't want to use the word difficult because it's not. As long as you got somebody who.
But it
But
requires thinking and time and playing.
right, like
Uh,
so, having a 6-year-old play that was a bad idea. But Uh, so I'm still looking for something, man. I might have to take a page out of John's book and maybe go for like a music game or something like because like you were saying, like I feel like there really isn't too many like uh what's the word I want to use, like really simplistic games like that um that can get him to play and enjoy. I mean, for the most part, he's been loving fighting games, which is pretty interesting. That's all me. Like we know
mhm.
who's his father,
Right. Right.
but yeah.
I don't know that.
Um, that's about it though, guys. Like that's all I got on that story.
All good, all good. I posted the game I was talking about in the chat. That game is
Oh,
pretty
here you.
cool. Again,
Oh,
it's
nice.
super easy. Nice little puzzle game, but it gets kind of hectic. Um, but it's a good game. It's a good game to play. I think I bought it for like $7 or something like that, and I definitely got my
It's
$7 worth. It was pretty fun.
The new Tetris is good too.
Oh, it
Get
is.
out of that Tetris 99.
Yeah,
I
we've been playing that and Tetris Connected.
Yeah,
hmm.
both of those are great.
That was an
Tetris
interesting.
99 in VR is really good too.
That's in VR.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh
that's
yeah, that Tetra. Yeah, that is in VR.
Yeah.
Yep.
oh.
I still
Well,
haven't got to play that Pac-Man 99.
let me go put that on the list. Uh, Pac. So that's an interesting segue we can get into. We were talking about the the Soulsborne and the Soulsborne clones. How do you guys feel about the battle royale clones? Like I played Mario 99, I think that was the name of it. Um, when it was out, and that was pretty cool. Um,
I
Uh,
mean, like, I
as
don't
I
know.
guess for me, like as long as they're like very different, like I definitely can't do too many of the shooter ones anymore.
yeah.
But like as far as like the Tetris and stuff like that, that's pretty cool. Like and it's an interesting spin to the genre.
Nephew, you were saying,
Oh, I know, not battle royales in like the traditional sense. I've not come across one that I've liked yet. Like the remakes and stuff like that, Tetris and things like that. I don't know, I dig it. There's nostalgia there too.
Yeah, yeah. Waiting for if it I don't even know if it's on the horizon, but I would love to see a Galaga 99 made. But that's just because
Oh
like
yes, 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 one
that's
thousand
one of my
percent.
favorite games. Like
Mm-hmm.
I love that game. Every time I see it in an arcade, I have to play it.
Yes,
I feel like it's coming.
It has to,
I
man.
hope
Like that would
so.
be awesome. Or even like I think Space Invaders would be an interesting one too. But that can get like real Space Invaders on its own can get real hectic real fast if you don't plan early enough. Um or you get let things get a little bit too close. It gets a little
I didn't play
hectic.
that. So
Um but we talked a little bit about E3 in the beginning of the E3 week, which feels like it gets earlier and earlier every year. And I know this is the first year that we're kind of back to somewhat of a normal E3. You know, because last year it just was all over the place. And understand why. That's I'm not trying to like say that they could still put it together because they couldn't. But it's good to get back to kind of like something normal. But it's just funny that now I remember when I first started paying attention to E3, it was just like a couple of days, and then like when I really started getting into it, um, it became like a weekend in a couple of days. Now it's like almost a full week before E3 officially starts, and we're getting announcements early.
Do
Um,
you guys know if like because I know like I think it was last year they were allowing the general public to buy tickets. Like, is that still a thing or did they stop that?
it's
I
not.
think they,
Go
I
ahead.
think
Go
they've
ahead now.
stopped it. I was gonna say I think they've stopped it
Yeah,
because
because
everybody
Mm.
started branching out, doing their own thing. Sony and Xbox and the big guns, big guns.
Oh, correction. It definitely wasn't last year. I think they canceled last year, right? That
yeah,
had to been
Yeah.
2019.
yeah. No, that's all
Um
good. So I know what you meant.
um but yeah, so that kind of blows a little bit. But it is what it is.
It is what it
But
is, and I think we're still kind of like not all the way out of the woods yet, so that it's not really going to be live people. Um, I know that Microsoft show is still apparently taped, from what I heard. Um,
oh, okay, so most of these are still okay.
yeah, most of them still
Okay,
taped. Yeah, cause Saturday Ubisoft Forward, Gearbox's show, which we should see more about Tiny Tina's
Yeah.
Wonderland.
you guys cut
Yeah,
out?
that's dropping out. Yeah, thanks for
Uh,
saying
Yeah,
that.
I think one of us is cutting out.
that's probably me. Looks like I'm dropping out pretty hard. Hold on one second.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Dang. Oh yeah, I dropped out pretty hard.